Alright, so today on the beat we're going to be installing the Underglow, but as well as that I got a new stereo, LED headlights, LED reverse lights, LED blinking brake lights, and LED bumper and interior lights. So everything that's shown I got it on Amazon, and I'll include the link for everything below. Alright, so for wiring up the Underglow, it's super simple. You have two routes you can go. You can either go directly to the battery and have a fuse, or you can tap into the fuse box. I have both of these, but I'm going to go this route just because I prefer it, and then my fuse box, if I use this one, my fuse box won't shut anymore. So I'm going to go this route, and I'll show you guys how that's done really quick. Okay, so I have the power side connected. I just have to heat up the heat shrink, and then we can continue from there. I'm trying to see where I could put this down and I won't like up on the car. I think right here should be fine. So you just want to heat it up, and then it should shrink around it as it says heat shrink. I mean, pretty self-explanatory. I feel like I never do this right, but it looks okay. Alright, now for this side, I have to get this over here. This is really hard to do one-handed. Never really realized how hard it was to do with one hand. I know this side isn't going to be the best, and I mean I don't even have to heat shrink it because it's going to be within the trunk, but I still want to try to make it look as neat as possible. Pretty sure I'm melting it. I'm not even filming. Nice. I think that should be good. Alright, so we have the positive end and negative end. You could put the negative end anywhere that's metal on the body as a grounding point, but I just did it to the battery just to leave everything in the same area. And I do not have a fuse in there right now because I'm going to be putting the strips in, and I just don't want to have power running to them while I'm doing it. I doubt I'll get electrocuted, but just to be safe, I'll keep the fuse out of there for now. Alright, so before sticking the lights on, you're going to want to clean the surface with some alcohol, wax and grease remover, pretty much anything to make sure that there's no grease or dirt on the panel where it's going to be mounted. Ignore the patch of rust right here. Japanese import, they'll have a little bit of rust. But yeah, so all this, I'm going to clean it off, wipe it down, make sure it's good so the 3M can stick. If it doesn't stick, I have another 3M tape that's a little bit more sticky than this, but I think this should be fine. Yeah, so if you look at that, that was all on the bottom, so that would have made it probably not stick as well. Alright, so as you can see, it's all installed right here. Super easy, just make sure that you press it very well so that it doesn't come off, because I noticed in one area, like right here somewhere, it wasn't pushed up all the way, so it wasn't sticking properly, but have to clean up the wires because I don't want them to get caught in anything, but for now this is just a rough install of everything. Alright, so in the rear there was nowhere really to mount the lights because the bumper's kind of flat. So I just mounted them with inside the engine bay. But the sides look sick. And then let me show you guys the front. I still have to do a little bit of cable management, but it's pretty nice. I like it. I have to go turn off the lights so you guys can really see. Ignore the mess of stuff everywhere right now. Oh wait, it's on. Off. Whoa, I can't see anything. Damn, that's bright though. You could really see right here how bright it is. Look at that. I just almost died right now. So you can actually change all of the colors on the phone app. Or you can have it like strobe. Trying to find that. Give someone like a seizure. This just says movie. I'm not sure exactly what that does. DIY. Yeah, not exactly sure what this does either. I think it just shifts color. You can like kind of customize it. Yeah, there's a lot of cool things within the app. I'm going to take a good look at everything once I have the chance, but for now I'm just going to leave them set to blue. So super simple car mod number 1 is done. So now we're going to do the reverse lights, brake lights, and bumper light. So we're going to start on the rear right now. Alright, so I'm not able to see my brake lights and I don't have somebody else to be here to inspect it, but I'll leave it recording and I'll come back and check it out. Should be able to see the reverse though. So this is the new one, and this is the old one. Looks much better. Check out the brake lights. Yeah, I see them flashing in the reflection over there. Alright, so I'm not sure how well you guys were able to hear me. I was kind of far away, but this is the new one. This is the old one. You could really see the difference right here. It looks way different in person. Like that one looks super white and this one looks super yellow. But they actually look almost the same on camera. It's interesting. Maybe if I turn off the lights. Alright, this is a much better look at it. Super yellow, super white and bright. And if you look back there too, you could really see the difference. You could even see how the passenger side is more open. Driver's side is a little bit less open. Alright, so all that's left to do is do the driver's side. I have to install that reverse light and the brake light. The brake lights are flashing lights. I don't know if you guys caught that on the camera, but pretty cool, cheap mod. So today is basically all just cheap mods. Nothing too expensive, easy to do. Oh, also the luggage rack is over there. I was painting it black, so I took it off. And you could really see how the paint faded over the years. I think a little bit of polish and compound will get that out. Alright, so these headlights are actually really tricky to do, but sadly the bulbs I got aren't the right size. So I'm just going to keep these, maybe for a future project I'll have them, but yeah, headlights don't fit. I'm going to leave the boot off right now because I struggled a lot to get it off. And it's so tight right here, it's really hard to get the headlight bulb to fit. So this one isn't the right size. When I get the right size one, it should be easier to install, but onto the stereo now. Alright, so I have the whole center console off right now. I'm going to leave it off because I'm going to paint all these parts black. Alright, so this is the harness for the car, and this is the one for the stereo. This is for late 80s, early 90s Hondas, but it does match the beat, I made sure. Before installing, you want to double check that all these colors are matching. Typically they do, but in some cases they could be different, like the red one could be for something different. I mean, it's very unlikely, but sometimes it happens. But luckily these are all matching, so it can be super quick and easy to install. Alright, so stereo's all wired in. I think the car actually only has 2 speakers, the driver's and passenger side, but I wired in the majority of them. I left a few unplugged because I know they're not going to be needed, but the system's actually pretty good, stock system. I have to use some non-copyright music, but these are decent speakers. I mean, for stock speakers, they're really good. I was going to upgrade them, but I don't think I'm going to be needing it. The old head unit did not have like any volume, so it's interesting to see that with the new head unit it has more volume, but it does have more wattage, so it should be a little bit louder. Also, I don't know where I'm going to mount this yet because it doesn't fit in the original area. It's a little bit too big. I've seen most people put it in the glove box, so I think that's what I'm going to do, but I just want to wire everything in, test it out, make sure both speakers work. Alright, so that wraps up for today. Cheap, easy Amazon mods with the Underglow, the stereo, the headlights actually didn't fit, the bulbs, the brake lights, reverse lights, and the bumper light. So I think I spent like under 200 bucks. It was probably like 150, somewhere around there, but I'll keep the Amazon link below so you guys can check everything out. And yeah, all done for today. Yeah, make sure I turn this off so I don't kill the battery. There's no cars right there. That's cool, like,